Hi everyone, and welcome to this webinar about Unifaun Analytics. My name is Linn Bergqvist, and with me today I have Marcus Jade, who is our product manager at Unifaun, and Johan Hellman, head of professional service. They will today talk about the importance of visibility and how visibility will give you brand new insights. The presentation and demo will last for about 30 minutes. And during the presentation, you're very welcome to ask us questions in writing, and we will answer them in writing as well in the end of the session if we can. Otherwise, we will get in contact with you in person after the webinar. So welcome, Marcus, and over to you.
Thanks, Lynn. To shortly zoom out, in essence, what we at Unifaun delivers is a digital transport communication platform. And with our products built on top, we addresses the different needs and segments. Carriers via white label portals and integration APIs. Receivers or consumers via our smartphone app, My Parcels, and also via Unifaun Deliver Checkout for e-com. For shippers via delivery management products, small customers self-service products, up to products designed for enterprise customers. In the enterprise segment, we deliver the product Unifaun Apport Enterprise, which is a connected TMS delivering visibility and control. The enterprise product stands a bit apart from other shipper products via a larger toolkit enabling wider usage and ultimately creates greater value. For the enterprise product, visibility and control are core. As we see them, jointly, they can be used in an iterative process for continuous improvements, visibility to identify improvement areas, and control to act on these improvements, visibility to follow up and find new improvements, and control to act again, and so on in a continuous improvement process. This webinar is about visibility, and what we're doing now we're launching our new analytics platform. Our enterprise product, Apport Enterprise, is the first product out where we will have this platform, but more will follow. Infrastructure is now in place, and we will continue to build additional products on top. The analytics platform is built on ClickSense technology, and we're now launching two applications. Enterprise, which is our standard app that we will demonstrate today, and Custom, which allows customer-specific KPIs, graphs, and drill downs. The application that we will show today is built around personas, and I hope you have seen them from the film that we released a couple of weeks ago. And personas are an important tool for us when we are developing new products. But with analytics, regardless of position, there will always be interesting data to analyze. And that's what we provide via analytics. That was a short intro. I think we will jump directly into the demo.
Thank you, Marcus. My name is Johan, as said, and I will now try to show you a bit of how this tool, what it looks like in reality. So let's see. This is the dashboard. This is the starting point of our Analytics Enterprise app. And as Marcus said, this is the standard app with a fixed functionality. It's designed to be useful for basically all our customers. It's standardized and thus also very easy to activate. And it's also priced in a very competitive level because it's a standard and shared functionality. On top of this, we also have the custom app, which enables custom-specific adaptations, KPIs, and measurements. But we think that the standard app is a good starting point for our customers. And this dashboard here, as you see, it's designed to give you a quick overview of your transport data. There are some high-level charts and KPI boxes. You can see some information about your flows, about status on your consignments, and about your carriers. And for example, you can see that there is roughly 260,000 shipments in this app. It's covering 1.4 years of data. What that means in practice is that it's last year, the full last year, 2017, and the current year. And going forward, we will always offer at least the current year plus one, and ultimately there will be 24 months of data in the app, with the option to actually expand the data storage with the custom app. And already here on the dashboard, I can use the features to drill down and understand my data more in detail. For example, now I selected Norway as a filter, and you will see the filters shown here at the top. I can drill down once more, and I will go to a specific city, and here I can see the site that I'm shipping from. As you can see here, I've shipped 21,000 shipments on this site, 7,000 this year. That's up 31% compared to last year. I have status on 99.9% of these shipments, and 92% has a delivery status, for example. Most of my shipments here are actually done with a euro agreement. So if I want to see the spend, I will filter out all the consignments that are priced in euro, and I can see how much I spent to ship these consignments. The filtering up here is also very flexible. So once you made a selection, you also have the option to select something else and to move your data around. And to revert, you can always clear all your filters.
So basically, this dashboard, what it's used for is to get a quick overview to compare trends, to see how this year compares to last year, and to also be an entry point for the different tabs that we have. I think we can start with shipments.
Yes, so now I'll go to the Flow tab. There's a link here which allows me to navigate. I can also navigate using the navigation panel. It looks like this. I have the dashboard, and now we're at the flow. The flow sheet, it's designed to show you and make you understand your transportation, what you're shipping from and to, what the trends, what they look like over time, and what the shipment profiles look like. So basically, in which weight intervals you're shipping and how much volume. So let's say I want to check the ramp-up progress of a specific site. So let's assume that my Malmö site here was launched last year in May, and now I can see how the volumes are building up. This is a very powerful way to follow implementation of the Unifaun platform, of course, but also of new sites to make sure that they take the system into use. Right. Take away that one. Another scenario you might want to investigate is, let's say you have courier shipments and you have concluded that if the consignment is heavier than, let's say, 500 kilos, it's probably wiser to use an air service. So I want to see if I have any courier shipments above 500 kilos. So I make a filtering like this. Now I have selected courier, and now I made a drag and drop selection here in the chart. So I'm selecting from 50 up to 7,500. That's not what I want exactly, so let me go and adjust the filter. No, look, it's right. Okay, great. Now I have the selection. I can see I have 305 consignments that actually are courier, but above 500 kilos. But okay, I don't want to worry about old synth, so I will only select happened this year. Give me a shorter list. And now maybe I want to see which site is responsible. So I will change the x-axis here on this chart, and I will say domain instead. And I can see low line, it's my Norway site that actually was doing almost all of these consignments. So I'm going back and setting this back to where it was. So let's say I have made a new agreement and I want to ramp up a carrier, and I want to on a regular basis check the progress of this switch between my old and my new carrier. Then it makes sense to use a bookmark. So I made a bookmark called Route Service Switch. And then when I select that, I will see preset selection of filters. I can follow. And I want to ramp up the green line called other carrier, and I want to ramp down the blue line called global carrier here. And again, I can also see if I filter out only the global carrier, go down to the domain to see which domains are using it. It's also possible to use these charts to follow, for example, data year on year. So I select month here, and I select year here. Now we'll get the comparison comparing each month in terms of volume year and last year. And then if I do a selection somewhere else, for example, I'm looking at Germany, I will see the year-on-year comparison from my German operations, shipping from different German sites.
That is some quick examples of how to use the flow chart. What we saw here is it's a way to analyze the data from different angles and the different possibilities that there is. Strong filtering possibilities and quick visualization. So all filtering can be combined, and in this way you can narrow the data from different perspectives and to get a complete overview of both how things evolved over time and also for different profiles for the shipments.
Okay, so let's move forward. As you may remember, we had a set of different sheets, where the dashboard, the flow, status, and the carrier. So now we'll go to the status sheet. Looks like this. And this sheet was designed to work with, basically to work with status quality. And we are convinced that it's very important whenever working with transportation management to have a good status flow. A lot of things that people want to do, and what they envision when they invest in a TMS solution is based on statuses. You want to work proactively. You want to inform your customers and other stakeholders about what's happening and maybe more importantly, what's not happening. You want to be able to measure performance, set up KPIs like on-time delivery or lead times. And the starting point for all of this is to have proper status flows from your carriers. And that's what this sheet is intended to do, is to help you bring up the status level to good quality level. So you can see here how many consignments has a status, and also how many of those that have specific predefined status groups like confirmed, pickup, delivered, and exception. And if you have been working with transportation, you know that all carriers basically have different codes and different ways of naming their statuses. And that's one of the strengths in the Unifaun platform, that we are already in our platform grouping all these statuses together in predefined group, such as delivered. So we know what it means when a specific carriers, what delivery means, or what it's called for them. And that we can then use in this report to show you how many consignments have been delivered. So let's look at a specific carrier then. I'm selecting the one called other carrier here. Obviously, these are not the real names of the carriers, but we have changed it around for demo purposes. So now I'm looking only at one carrier. I can see this carrier have 84% status, and it has 57% of the consignments have been delivered. So let's say I want to follow the development over time. So I changed this now to year month, and as you see now a couple of times, I'm able to actually change both axes on the charts and give them different meanings. So now you see the trend here over time, month by month. The line here is showing you how many consignments were booked, and the bars show how many of those, how many consignments had a status, any status. So you can see that this is about 84%. I can also change this and look specifically as delivered, because maybe delivered is more important for me. And here you can see that there's been an improvement. During the fall of last year, there were very few delivered statuses, but it has improved, which is good. But still, even if I make a selection and only look at this year, I'm still only at 70%, and of course I want more. I want all my consignments to get the delivered status eventually. Now I can also be helped with this table on the right here, which is called the pivot table. So it's a very dynamic table that helps you to analyze. So maybe I'm thinking that maybe it depends on this destination country if there's a status or not. So I will take this to country box and I will move it to the top. Now I can see my data sorted by destination country, and I can identify countries that seems to have many consignments but few delivery statuses. For example, maybe I want to look more in detail with a specific one. Maybe let's say Germany here has 1,000 consignments, but only 600 are delivered. So let's say I want to investigate that further. So I can make a selection for Germany. I can see how Germany is developing. And maybe now to really sort of help my carrier to improve, it may not be enough to tell them that Germany is only at 61%. That's not good enough. Maybe I want to be more specific. This is one time when I can go to the details sheet and I can actually see the data line by line. It's a bit masked here, as you can see. So in reality, you would of course see all the specific references to and from addresses and so on. But the app is built on consignment level data, which we think is a fundamental feature that really will help you to realize the value. I can take this data, I can right click, I can export it to Excel very quickly. Actually, opening Excel is usually what takes the longest time. And I will have in the Excel file same exact data as I see on the screen. And I can send it to my carrier and I can say, these are the exact consignments. And they will be able to see which ones have the status and which haven't. And they can work on that. So it might also be good to mention here that, as I said, this sheet is designed to help you improve the status quality, and that also connects very well with the set of different features that we have in the Apporter Enterprise platform around status collection. So we are, of course, collecting statuses integrated through EDI from our bigger carriers and high volume products. We also offer emails with the link, which will help carriers to manually set the status. There is a carrier service portal, which allows carriers to log on, see all the consignments, and set status. We have a control tower that also makes it possible for a shipper to set statuses on their own, maybe to help short-term help carriers or to manually monitor high-value shipments or low-volume flows. And we have our mobile status feature, which allows anybody with a smartphone to set the status using a QR code on a document.
So I think same idea here with status as with flow, to give a complete overview and also to give the tool to drill down and to look at the data from different perspectives. And I think that's an important point that Johan mentioned, that this is the quality and this is how it looks. That should be the entry point, to start with data quality, to make sure that we have a correct quality before we go to the next level, which is to build customized KPIs and charts. First step is to validate to make sure that we have all the correct data that we need.
Okay, so let's move on to the last chart we will look into, and it's called carrier. This chart is designed to be used in the interaction with your specific carriers. So let's say I will have a meeting with my carrier called Express Parcel, business review, let's say. Maybe it's a monthly meeting and I want to discuss our common business. So I will make a selection here, and I'm now only showing Carrier Express Parcel. And as you saw before, this is the filter, and if I want to change to somebody else, I can do that. You can even quickly change to actually select all the other carriers if I want that. And I can go back to the selection I just had. I'm now looking at Express Parcel. Here I can see the number of shipments month by month. Again, this is something that can be adjusted to choose something else, like for example, a destination country. I will go back to month because that's what I want to look at. I can find it. Now we're back. And I also have the pivot table as before. And also here I can make the same list and show, for example, put the country on top and show the business country by country. Of course, I'm also interested in the spend. And again, it's depending on the currency of my contract, but I want to look at my euro business with this carrier. So I select euro as the currency, and now I see the total spend for the full period. And of course, in the logic of ClickSense, if I select just a specific month, I will also see the spend for that month. I can change the bars here. So now it's showing the number of shipments each month. Maybe I'm more interested to show the spend. So I can take total price and I will see how much I spent. And if I'm used to working with this, I probably have a pretty good sense of what the price per kilo should be. So maybe that's even a KPI I want to follow more in detail, and I can see how that's developing and if it's going up or down. And of course, then I need to have discussion with my carrier. Why is the cost going up, or why is it going down? Maybe it's related to a change in my profile, or maybe it's something else. I also show this pivot table here. One thing you can do if you want to see something more in detail is to click on the full screen expansion. It looks like this, and now I see all the columns at once, and I can see shipments, weight per consignment, total price, the price per consignment, price per kilo, volume per consignment, and so on. A lot of different measures that might be relevant. And of course, also this is something that you can export to Excel. Basically, you can export anything you see on the screen. You can take it into Excel and you can work with the numbers there. So let's look at one last case. Let's say I've been working now with the carrier Express Parcel for a while, and it's time to make a tender for the business and to see if maybe there's another player on the market that can offer me a better service or at least a better price. So I want to take a baseline for my tender. So I'm making a selection in time. I want 1 year of data, but I want it to be as fresh as possible. So I'm selecting from May last year until April this year. This will give me a full set of 12 months. So here I have all the consignments. Maybe I'm also looking at a specific relation. So maybe I'm just going to tender my shipments to, let's say, Germany. I will also do France. And let's say I'm having Spain. So I made a selection of 3 countries. You can see it builds up here to my selection. So now I have selected Express Parcel. I've selected a set of 12 months. And I've selected 3 countries. Now I can go to the Details tab again. And I will see the consignments for this period, all of them. And I can make the export to Excel. Of course, if you use Unifaun for all of your shipments, you will also have all of your data available here. So you don't have to go through the hassle every time you make a tender to try to collect your data from your carriers. You will just click a few buttons and you will have it in Excel, just like I'm showing now. Here you can see that I exported, and this was the selection I made now was roughly 18,000 consignments that are in this baseline. And basically, all I have to do is to delete the column that contains the current price, the calculated price in the consignments, and then I have all the information that the carriers will need to give me really good quotes. Close this. And back to the overview.
I think that's some of the examples of what you can do with analytics products, and there are of course tons of more of use cases. And what we are delivering with this product is to, and what we're aiming for, of course, is to give a complete overview from those different perspectives, from flows, from stacks, and also from carrier. I think some of the important design steps that we're taking within this solution is to give the complete overview and to be able to visualize the data from many different perspectives. Speed is something that we have worked hard on to actually have this solution as quick as you can see that it is. And I think that's very important when you are using this service. You should be able to drill down from many perspectives. So speed is definitely key for this solution. And also, as Johan mentioned, consignment level. In all, the filtering in ClickSense is global. So when you are working with flow or any other tab, it will follow to the others and always go down to consignment level. So there are some of the design points that we're taking with us when we have built this solution. I hope that this demo showed you what we meant with visibility. With this analytics platform, that's what we are providing, and this is how we see visibility in practice. And as an example, there we could look at a service that is being used in the wrong weight interval. And with Unifaun control features like carrier select, centralized templates, or control tower, we can make sure that this doesn't happen again. And that's what control is about. Visibility to identify the improvement area and control to act on these improvements. We're now launching this analytics platform, and we will also open up the possibility to do trials. And as we see this journey with analytics, the entry point is this standard application where you will learn more about your data and make sure that the quality is good. Next step is custom, where we will help you build specific or custom KPIs and also custom layouts. If you want to know more or get started with the trial, talk to your account manager or contact us at sales@unifaun.com, and we will let you know when you can start. You can expect this to happen approximately directly after the summer. Thank you for listening, and I hope that this has been an interesting webinar. Let's continue to the questions.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you, guys. Very interesting. I have 2 questions so far, so feel free to ask questions. We will continue for a couple more minutes. So the first one is whether it is possible to store data longer than 24 months.
Yes, extended storage is offered as part of the analytics custom.
Okay, thank you very much. And the other question we have here is, can consignments not booked through Unifaun be included in the data?
Yes, I'll try to answer that question. So basically, the Click application is based on our database. So we have to get the consignment data and the consignment information into our database. But we already have features, a feature we call the shipment hub, which means that we actually can import copies of consignments that are booked somewhere else. And you can use those copies for many reasons, one being price calculation, tracking, but also, of course, then to see them also in your analytics applications.
Okay, great. So another one here is, I assume this product is designed for shippers, but is it possible to provide a limited access to carriers on individual shipper level, so both shipper and carrier can use the same source of data and skip sending Excel files?
Yes, I think now we are launching our new the analytics platform, and we have this first application. It targets mainly shippers, but that's a journey that we will continue on, and that's a typical use case that we also see that is very interesting for us. So this is definitely a possible next step for us to do.
I might mention also that in the discussions we had with our customers so far around this application, we have seen that it is very valuable also for carriers to be able to see the same statistics as the shipper is seeing, so that improvement work can be a collaborative effort.
Okay, thank you very much. So that's all the questions I've got from you listening here. So if you have anything else you're wondering about, do not hesitate to send us an email on sales@unifaun.com, as Marcus said. Well, I think that's all for us. Is there anything else that you would like to add? No? Okay, thanks. Okay, so sorry, can we have another question? There was just one here. Is the tool capable of converting currencies into euro, for example?
At the moment, we have chosen to actually exclude currency, what do you call it, currency exchange. So we are only showing actually currency that is on the agreement. But it's definitely something we're looking at. Technically, it can be solved. It's more about making sure that it's solved in a way that is understandable to the user and predictable. But it's I think it's a very valid question and something we're considering to include going forward.
Okay, thank you very much. Okay, so to all you that has been listening today, thank you very much for joining, and hope to get in touch with you soon via our sales email. And thanks to Johan and Marcus as well. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.